Have you noticed something lately? Films are starting to look like they were made in the 70s, or the 50s, even the 20s. In a digital world obsessed with the future, cinema is looking back. But why? What makes retro aesthetics, grainy textures, saturated colors, old-fashioned framing so appealing today? From the violent Technicolor dreamscape of Pearl to the dreamy homage of La La Land, it's clear, retro is back. But it's not just about style. Let's start with Pearl. Ti West doesn't just set the story in 1918. He visually warps us there. The film embraces a vivid, vintage aesthetic that feels like the Wizard of Oz collided with Psycho. It's shot in bright Technicolor with theatrical camera pans, static wide shots, and a musical score reminiscent of early Hollywood epics. But what's genius is how the aesthetic contrasts with Pearl's inner horror. It's unsettling. The nostalgia makes the violence feel even more perverse. That's the magic of retro today. It disarms you. Retro isn't just a look, it's an emotional device. In La La Land, Damien Chazelle resurrects the golden age of musicals, using color-coded wardrobes, tap dances, and wide cinemascope frames. It's pure nostalgia, a yearning for a time when love stories sang and danced. But it's also about failure, compromise, and heartbreak. The aesthetic lulls us into a dream, then quietly breaks our heart. Same with The Love Witch, where Anna Biller recreates 1960s pulp horror with obsessive detail. It's campy, stylized, seductive. But beneath it, a critique of gender, desire. Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood isn't just set in the 60s. It feels like it was made in the 60s. The production design, lighting, radio soundscapes, even the editing mimics the era. But the point isn't just visual flair. It's his love letter to a lost Hollywood, one before cynicism, before franchises. In a way, Tarantino is preserving history through simulation. The past becomes a sandbox for alternate realities. Retro aesthetics are more than a trend. They're a philosophy. They remind us that the past still lives in our stories, that beauty doesn't always mean high definition. In a world of 4K, CGI, and algorithmic content, retro offers something raw, something imperfect. Grainy film, saturated colors, analog sounds, they evoke memory. They feel real. We're overwhelmed by digital noise, by content engineered to grab, then vanish. But retro? Retro slows us down. It asks us to feel, not just consume. Maybe that's why directors are going back, to remind us of the roots of cinema, to bring texture back into storytelling. So next time you see a movie that looks old, don't ask why it looks that way. Ask what it's trying to say. Because in cinema, the past never really stays behind. Like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which retro-styled film hit you the hardest and why.